All right, so it's our last week of Director Bound. Can you guys believe that you made it through 6 weeks? Isn't that awesome?
It's
how do you how do you guys feel about it?
Good.
A little stressed, but okay.
So Patty, you feel stressed. Tell me about that. Why do you feel stressed?
I just need to get my recruits going.
Yeah.
I know it's just kind of getting them. I've got one that is just kind of not doing anything, and I've got to spur her along to get her qualified this month. And I just need some. I've got a lot of parties, and my other one's got a party, and then one of my new recruits just signed up. We were having a party, so we're using her party as our launch party.
Gotcha.
To help that, so it's just trying to meet those goals. It's just a little
so I want to give you some breath of fresh air. You ready for it?
Yeah.
Okay. So Patty comes before everyone else. Okay. Patty's business is the most important business of all businesses. So don't lose track of your personal business.
Right.
Lots of us, when we start investing our time in other people, we forget about ourselves, and then we shoot ourselves in the foot. Especially it happens when you become a director. One of the biggest tips that I will ever give any new director is do not lose track of your business, because you are always going to make more money on your business than you are on your overrides. Okay. So 80% of your time should be about you and your personal business. And then 20% of that time goes into your team and to your recruits. Okay. So take that and say, you know what? Okay. Because you're going to need it. I mean, I've had this conversation over the last couple of days with my directors a lot, because we had 48 new team members join. And so that's a lot of people. And when you think about it, there's only 5 on my director team, and 48 people plus, another 60 people that we already had. So there's more of them than us. There's not enough hours in the day to take care of everyone. So you invest your time and the willing, right? That 20% of that time. So how I tell them, with the 20% of time that you're investing in your team, so now we do another 80-20, okay? 80% of that 20% goes into your consultants that are showing you they want more.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
And the 20% that's left over goes into those consultants that really are not, they're telling you they want more, but they're not showing you they want more.
Exactly.
So you'll kind of, as you grow and you get into leadership, you'll figure it out. It's going to take some time, but keep your focus on you and your business. Okay. I think that's the best permission anyone ever gave me. And after I realized it, I was like, oh, now I understand it, and it takes, because you don't want to disappoint anyone. None of us want to disappoint anyone, but in the same respect, our business, when we take a backseat to it, what we end up doing is we put all of this time and energy into other people's businesses. And then when we come back to our business, we're starting over ourselves. And nobody wants to start over, right?
Right.
All right. So I am going to share this video. Can you guys see Tony's beautiful face?
Yes.
Okay. And hopefully you'll be able to, I think there's a setting I have to click. All right. Tell me if you can hear her.
Hey there.
Yeah.
Hey, I am going to go over some onboarding of new recruits, since we had several recruits last month. So I'm just going to show you kind of what I do. And I think it runs along the same lines as the other directors that are in this training. So I will just start with, as soon as they are signed up, what to do with them. So the first thing I have them do, or I send them a message first, and I will welcome them, tell them how excited I am that they've joined my team. And then the first thing I'll do is I'll send them the link to join my team page. And then once they join, I'll introduce them. And at that point, I will schedule a call with them within 24 hours. So call number 1. There's 4 different calls. Number 3 isn't really a call. It's more of like the whole week check-in of their first parties. But I call them 1 through 4, and it goes right along the lines with the same training and dash for you as the recruiter. So you can always go into Dash, and they have scripts and stuff that you can use in there, and all kinds of things. So let me share my
It's like
screen.
she's here, isn't it? Tony, we love you.
Down, move some toggles around. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to take you to is my document I share on my team page, and it's New Consultant 01. And the first 3 things I just went over with you, which was congrats on your new recruit, focus on helping them be successful, and you'll be rewarded as well. So welcome them and tell them how excited you are to have them on your team. Add them to our team page and introduce them, and then schedule a call within 24 hours. That's for the call 1. So call number 1, I welcome them and have them tell them excuse me, about themselves, their family, their jobs, their hobbies, etc., why they joined Pampered Chef, Fun Money College, friend trips, etc. And then you tell your story and how Pampered Chef has been a blessing to you. What I usually say is that, you know, Pampered Chef came along at just the right time. Let me stop share real quick. That Pampered Chef came along at just the right time. My youngest daughter, I have 4 children, she left the nest for college, and I had quit my job a couple years before because my dad had prostate cancer, and you know, I loved my job where I was working. I was a loan officer, but the commute and, you know, the politics of just corporate life just wore me down. So I quit my job. My dad moved across the street and took care of him. And then, you know, it was getting to where I needed a job. I needed to go back out in the force because I had used up savings and everything with kids graduating and all that. So when Georgia moved out, I went through 3 months of pretty big depression, not knowing where I fit in anymore, what my purpose was, things like that. And my old boss sent me a invite to a Pampered Chef party online. And I had lots of fun in that party. The recruiter asked me, I know, at least 5 times because I said no. I was too busy. And I was busy with, you know, rentals and things like that, our rental houses, and getting George off to college and everyone settled in my little farm I have. But, you know, it came along at the right time. I said, why not? Why not join? You know, and I was going to take it seriously because, you know, I had tried direct selling before in my 20s, a makeup company, and I took the word no personally. And so, this was before Facebook. So when I was picking up the phone and I heard a no, I was done for the day. So after that experience, you know, I did really good my first 3 months because it was with family and friends. But after that, you know, hearing those no's, I just stopped, you know. It wasn't fun, and I hated the rejection that I thought they were rejecting me. And so this go around, I decided, you know, I'm older and wiser, and I know they're not rejecting me. There's a reason they're saying no. It's either they don't have time or, you know, whatever. So I was determined not to fail. I was going to make it work. I was going to get bookings. Having Facebook, all the messaging, and all these people at my fingertips was definitely more encouraging than having to pick up the phone and stuff like that back in my 20s. able to go, and I haven't looked back since. And I have been in this less than 2 years. I'm a director, have a team of 100 plus people. So if you work it a little each day, it can be very, very rewarding. So it has become a full-time job with me, and I absolutely love it. Love the friends I've made and the trips I've been on so far. So from there on, I go on to, I'll share my screen again, to what their income expectations are, how much they want to make in a month. But I don't, at that point, I don't let them kind of lead the way and say, oh, just 500 a month or a couple $100 a month, whatever. And I don't ask them how many parties they see themselves doing, because really, they don't know about block parties. They don't know how easy it is to schedule parties, and they can do several. So I just set the expectation on how many parties. So the 2 to 4 parties the first week, and then start booking the next week and go from there. What type of consultant they're wanting to be. Number 4, virtual catalog, in-person fundraising and or registries, and also vendor events, things like that. And then I go over their new consultant rewards. If there's a special, there's not going to be a special each month, but if there is one, kind of like, what was it, September, they got the blender, they signed up and hit $12.50 in the first 30 days. Tell them about that. But in the 30 days right now, there isn't a special. So you at least want them to get to their $500. And then, of course, the spring free-for-all, you can go up to $6,000 in their first month to get all the spring product free. So earning product by selling in first 90 days, let them know their 90-day date as well, and then their all the rewards they can get. And there's some nice graphics that they have put on marketing imagery to kind of send them and show them those goals as well. But they will get a little game looking or in their kit goes over that too. And then the cash rewards program. So, and then number 6, I issue a booking challenge. I'll send them scripts to get going, and I'll tell them to write down their friends list, their relatives, associates, neighbors, kids, and spouse. No is normal. Do not take it personally. So to not give up, we need to get you as many friends going in parties in your first couple weeks. And then from those parties, you're going to break out of your friend zone, and that's where your business will take off even more. And just let them know to go over the first 10 or so trainings in Dash, because that will walk them through the direct deposit, creating Facebook business page, and first steps. Set a time to follow up on bookings in the next 48 hours. Challenge them to 3 to 4 before you talk again. And then call number 2 is going to be the launch party and or party with host. Set a time and date to help them set up their first party. And for you guys, the recruiter, Dash will walk you through what to do with your new consultant. That Fast Track Success system. It's pretty awesome. Gives you scripts and everything to say. I can show you that real quick. I'm in, an executive bound program, and the meeting this week, there was a director in there that shared a form that I want to show you guys in a minute. That is, I know Becky will like, because it's up her alley with forms and everything. So, gosh.
I think she's saying I'm OCD, y'all.
Right here, you can search anything. So you can search Fast Track. And here's your Fast Track Success system. Click on it and it will walk you through all these different things, like say call to. So see these little say this, check in on parties booked. So excited to hear how things went over the last couple of days. How many parties were you able to book? How many contacts did you make? Blah, blah, blah. And if they booked, what to say. Revisit Fast Track rewards. It walked you through so many different things. And there's words to say for an in-person party. I love this. And then you got call 3 for virtual party, which is what I will go over with you here shortly. So call number 2, let me stop share. Call number 2, what I do is right before I send them, before I get them on the phone, share again, I will send them an email. I'll say, be looking for an email because there's going to be some documents that we need to use while setting up your parties. That's what call number 2 is for me, is helping them set up their parties. So sending email docs, where is it? Okay. The first one I send them is this one. It's the what to say document, and this will walk them through how, they can cut and paste what to say in parties, what to send to their host. I have some host cooking in there. Monday before party starts. You guys have seen all this. All of that. So I send them this document, and then I'll send them this virtual party planner that they can send out to their hosts. This is in when you go to explore, and then training, and then university. It's under getting started with your parties. So virtual party planner is one thing I send them as well. And then the guest specials that they can print out to send in packets, host special, and this guy. I love this guy. It's them to track, like this can be their week 1, this first box. 4 hosts in there, and then if they ask the host 5 times, excuse me, women, no. Rockstar guest name, curious, book, guest, book, guest, book, guest. 3 bookings per party, and asking the host 5 times, signed recruit name. So I love it. Send that to them, and then the only other thing I send them, show you my little folder here, is the click to shop cover photo. So when we're setting up her party, she can upload this to her cover photo. And I think that's all I send them in the email. So once they have all that, I will go over that with them, set up a Zoom chat with them, and have them share their screen so I can walk them through a party, virtual party, obviously. And then the third call is not really a phone call with me. It's daily messaging them throughout their whole party, what they should be telling their host, which is in that virtual party, what to say doc, and what they should be doing daily. Setting up a party, sending links to people, just all kinds of, sending thank you cards, things like that. The fourth call, closing parties, pretty easy. I have them share their screen again, and I just walk them through their show cart, the orange stars, what those mean. The orange stars is either the guest special or a future party pick. I explain how to do the future party pick, and how to add prizes, how to make sure everything's balanced, even how to deal with a decline card issue, and then review and submit show. So after that, I will definitely recognize them that they have submitted their first show. The rewards, I'll post, one of those graphics. And then after that, in their first 90 days, I will just do a weekly check-in, see how things are going, and definitely implement the fast track system and scripts that are on Dash. And after that, if they are really, you see a spark in them, get them in a director bound fast track program. So if they're not very responsive and really struggling, don't have the bookings, definitely give them a little more time on the fast tracking. So I think that's all I have. So I'm gonna let Becky, I don't know if she went first or if she's doing my video afterwards, but that's all I have. Wish I could be there tonight with you guys. My daughter has her Winfield concert that she is putting on, and I can't miss it. I've never missed one. So you guys totally understand family. So I hope you guys have a wonderful evening.
And she just booked a party. She did.
Isn't that crazy though, that it was like she was here?
Yeah.
She was here without being here. I mean, she recognized
Exactly.
me, what my quirks are, and like she knows me. I mean, come on now. Like, Tony, do you really know me that well already? I guess so, because I'm a pretty easy person to figure out, y'all. All right, so now that she's given you guys some systems for your onboarding and your new consultants, I think one of the biggest skills that we don't teach much anymore is selling. Would you guys agree? We teach so much about booking parties and so much about host coaching and so much about recruiting that we oftentimes forget about those selling skills. And, in my 8 years, that's kind of what I do. I have sold $550,000 in 8 years. So,
Woo.
right? I mean,
What?
that's a lot of mixing chops.
Yes, it's a bunch of mixing chops.
So I'm going to kind of give you guys some of my tips on selling. And what I love is that, the people, some of you guys jumped on when I was still on a call with a new consultant. And one of her biggest hangups, and you're probably going to hear this from your new consultants, is that they don't want to feel pushy. Have you guys heard that yet? I want to do this, but I just don't want to feel pushy. So let's talk about pushy for a second. So pushy is a term that we tend to say when we're making something about ourselves and the way we feel. Okay. Now, if we put ourselves out of the picture and we focus on people first and not ourselves and our personal feelings, then you're no longer pushy, right? Because what you're doing is offering a service to people. If you always stay solution-centered instead of being sales-centered, that is what people are looking for. So when you sell things, right, like, oh my gosh, Joanna, you need to buy. And Patty, I've got this great blah, blah, blah. You need to buy this. Nobody wants to do that. They get turned off immediately from it, okay? But if I say, hey, Joanna, I have this amazing rock and, you literally can take this rock and, I don't know, make fajitas for your family in 14 minutes in the microwave. What am I doing there? I'm selling a solution to people, right? Because how many of you guys are busy? We all are, right? Everybody is busy nowadays. We have busy schedules, we have busy families, we have busy lives, like everything is just busy. It's hustle and bustle. So I find when you can offer a solution to people, that is what they're looking for. So I always think of my VIP group, okay? And the best results that I ever get in my VIP group is when I just either go live and share what I'm doing, or I post pictures of myself with the products, or my kids with the products, or my kitchen in the products. And don't say, oh my gosh, look at this amazing rock crock, item number 3150 for $125. You know what I mean? Let the products stand on their own, okay? Let them speak for themselves. So when I post a picture of my fajitas that are done with my rock crock in the background, okay, people are naturally going to be curious and ask questions about that. So when you can do a little bit of soft selling versus straight on selling, you're going to see an amazing change in results. Okay. So this is going to both be from your virtual parties and your VIP groups. Okay. But also in your cooking shows, if you're a cooking show consultant, you know, when we are selling products, another thing I want you guys to remember is be feature less focused and more benefit focused. Okay. So, you know, we all know what the features of a product are. Okay. You know that it's microwave safe and it can go into the oven to 425 degrees, yada, yada, yada. Let me put you all to sleep right now, because that's exactly what your customers do too. You know, they can look in a catalog and they can see what the features are, right? They don't need us to tell them. So when you take that rock, okay, and you know, I can analyze a rock and I could say, okay, so you guys tell me, okay, let's play a little game here. Which one would you be more apt to purchase? If I said this rock can go in your microwave, oven, stove, under the broiler, on the grill, heat safe to 752 degrees, dishwasher safe, metal utensil safe, blah, blah, blah. Or would you be more apt to, you know, me saying, well, you know, you could take a 6-pound roasting chicken, pop it in there, put it in the microwave for 30 minutes. You can take some peppers, onions, and chicken breasts, layer them all together in the microwave for 14 minutes. You can take a pork tenderloin in the microwave for 14 minutes. Which way would sell you faster?
Quickness.
Mhm.
Right. That's the benefit of it, right? And so the rest of it, they can obtain themselves through the catalog or through the information. If they're clicking, if they have interest in a product, they're going to get all of those specifics without us sharing that information. What we have to sell them on first is why they need that product, what that product and that investment is going to do for them. So a lot of times people, they look at the price of a rock, or they look at the price of our blender, or they look at the price of our quick cooker, and they're like, oh my gosh, there's no way I'm going to pay $240 for a quick cooker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys heard that?
Oh, yeah.
Right. But when you break that number down and you ask people, okay, so Tammy, let me ask you, how many times a week do you go through a drive-through line? And you know, the typical response at a show or during a virtual party is, well, probably 1 to 2 times a week because we're busy. And then I always ask a question, okay? And I say, well, Joanna, when you go through the drive-through, what's the average amount you spend with your family when you go through the drive-through? And you guys, most of the time it's going to be $25 to $40 probably through a drive-through line, depending on the size of their family. And when I break that number down for them and say, well, you know what? I mean, if you put something like a quick cooker in your kitchen, you know, it's paying for itself with 6 McDonald's visits, you know? So when you actually break it down into the fact that that $240 long-term is going to save them money, it's also going to feed their families healthy food, not through a drive-through. It's also going to save them time, right? Because, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I can do a lot of meals in my quick cooker that by the time I got to a drive-through line and back home, my food's already done in the quick cooker. Okay?
Yep.
So those are the things that I want you guys to think about, whether you're in a cooking show or whether you're in a virtual party. Those are the kind of solutions people want to hear for their day-to-day challenges. Okay? So, you know, that kind of leads me into a little bit about virtual parties. So with virtual parties, you know, so many times we ask people questions and they respond to us and we get a response, and how do we react to that? So, you know, an example would be if you ask somebody, you know, if you ask somebody in the party, oh my God, you know, do you guys have who here has stoneware, right? And down below, you start having comments, and you have, I don't know, Joanna saying, oh, I have the deep covered baker. And you have Patty that says, oh, I don't own any stoneware. And Tammy says, oh, I have the large bar pan, but it broke. Okay. So how do you guys react to those 3 very different scenarios in a virtual party? Do you just say to Joanna that says she has the deep covered baker, oh, you know, oh my gosh, I have it too. Don't you love it? You know, do you say to Patty when, you know, Patty, I don't even know what example I gave. See, I'm talking so fast, I just forgot.
I have none.
you have,
I have none.
yeah. So you say, oh no, and I'm just going through this because with a lot of consultants, I tend to shadow their shows a lot, and I see what kind of responses. So when I've had a consultant that's had multiple flop parties, a lot of times we'll have a conversation. I'll have them add me into their virtual parties so that I can kind of look through things. Okay. So how best to to coach you through your show. Because I find that there's a lot of things that we do behaviorally that we may not realize that really, if you are more intentional, it can completely change the results of a show, whether it be a cooking show or a virtual party. And so, if you're saying to Patty, oh no, right? And Tammy has the large bar pan, but it cracked, and you're like, oh my gosh, and you're not eliciting a conversation, okay? So with Joanna, what I might say is, oh, Joanna, you have the deep cover baker. What's your favorite recipe to do in that? Okay. And to Patty, oh, Patty, you don't have any stoneware? Why have you never bought any stoneware? Just curious. And to Tammy, I may say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry your stone cracked. How long ago was that? Okay. So there's different reasonings why I'm asking these questions, right? Mm-hmm. So to Joanna, I'm asking her about the deep covered baker and what she loves to make in it, because I need to know whether she's using it or not. Okay. So if Joanna says, oh, well, I have it and I'm not using it, then guess what? As a consultant, I can do. I can say, hey, well, Joanna, how would you like it if I private message you some recipes? I'm opening a doorway. Okay. I'm opening a conversation. And to Patty that doesn't have any stoneware, maybe she comes back to me and she says, well, I'm just not sure about stoneware. Right. So it opens another whole conversation, and maybe to Tammy when she says, oh, it cracked about a year ago. And then guess what I'm doing, guys? I'm saying, oh, did you get a replacement stone? Hey, let me private message you and see if I can help you take care of it. Your goal with your virtual parties is to get a conversation outside of the virtual party, because that's really where your sales and bookings are going to come from. Okay. So I want you guys to think of every post in your party as an opportunity to have a conversation with someone. Another wonderful thing that I love to do in my parties is that, so let's say Joanna with her deep covered baker, she says, well, I've used it a couple times, but I really don't know what to make in it. And so I say, hey, Joanna, I have this great e-cookbook that I can send you. Can I send you a private message? Okay. You guys see what I'm doing here, right? Mm-hmm. I'm taking it. I'm creating a conversation built around me offering solutions to them. Okay. Which is giving me a route and a backdoor into having a conversation with them. And I look like a total rock star and it didn't cost me any money. Okay. We have access. Does everybody know how to find the e-cookbooks? Does everybody have those e-cookbooks?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. Because guys, those are a great tool for you with virtual parties if you're doing virtual parties. If you're doing cooking shows, same thing. So, what I like to do at my cooking shows is if I, as I'm using a product, if I have someone that says, oh, I have a deep covered baker, I'm having that same conversation that I just had with Joanna, but in a cooking show setting. And I'm saying, oh, Joanna, so tell me, what is your favorite recipe that you like to make in it? And when she says, well, I've only used it a couple times. And I can say, oh, okay. Hey, on your order form, make a note up top for me to email you a cookbook. Okay. So this is giving me a point of contact every time I'm getting these conversations going, both in virtual party or in a cooking show. Okay. So, just be very conscious in your virtual parties, especially with how you can get a two-way conversation going back and forth. Never reply without asking a question. Okay. Because you want it to be a continuous conversation back and forth. And, the best ones are then taken outside into a message. Okay. So that's always going to be your goal. All right. So we talked about Solution Center. We talked about features and benefits. Now, how about cross-selling? Cross-selling is really powerful, y'all. So, when I'm writing a virtual party outline, one of the biggest things that I love to do is I love to, have a main product, but then offer a couple different cross-sell items within that post. Okay. So maybe my post is about the deep covered baker, but maybe I have added a picture of, I don't know, the salad choppers and the oven mitts, or, you know, the tongs and a spice, or something that coordinates with it. Okay. Because we want them to buy the deep covered baker or book a show for it. Okay. And if they're going to book a show for it, most likely they'll probably just buy one of the accessories. So you want to kind of sell a story, you know, sell your little like trio within those posts. Same thing goes at a cooking show. You know, when I'm talking about, I don't know, the large bar pan, you know, maybe I'm talking about the oven mitts and the trivet, you know. So you need to always think about what coordinates well with those products that you can kind of upsell that product. Okay. So if you're talking about the rectangular baker, you make sure you talk about the silicone stretch covers, right? So what coordinates? Okay. And so as you're writing your virtual party outlines, just be aware of that, you know, and add those products in where you have, you know, room to maneuver a little bit. All right. So we talked about virtual parties and asking questions to solve problems. So how many of you guys struggle to get bookings?
I am right now. I
You are
never
right now?
struggled, but I'm having a hard time this week.
Okay, so tell me about that. Why do you think you're having a hard time?
I'm using the same booking message I've always used. I've even tweaked it a little bit.
Okay.
I'm doing it through my virtual parties through the message. Some of them are seeing it. They're not responding. Some of them are just flat out no's. I've got a few that say check back, so I'm checking back with them next week, and I'll bug them, you know, next week again.
Okay. So are you doing your parties through Business Page? Okay.
Yes.
And are you using the message
Yes.
button within the comment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, do you know about, I don't know if they've showed you this or not, because I taught a couple of these girls about this. Are you using the tracking system that's built into your messenger? Do you guys know about that?
Did not know about that.
Oh, let me show you something.
Oh, please do.
I love to teach and train. This is kind of my favorite. And I'm a tech genius. Not really. I wish I was a tech genius. But I love all things like technology. And I love it when I can figure out little shortcuts. And yes, my Facebook is blown up. Okay, so let me go to an old party. Let's go to okay, so when we're in here,
I love
That's
that.
good.
I love that.
personalize. Yes, we have to personalize our parties, right? That's
I
another.
love that.
Yes,
That
that's
is so
another
cool.
little tip that you've got to do. Actually, I'm in the wrong place. Yeah, I'm going in the wrong place. My brain is not together tonight. I apologize.
Well, you just come off one call and went to this one. Forgiven.
Okay, so let's go into our inbox. Okay, so when you're on your business page, everybody knows what your business page is at, right?
Mhm.
And up top, you know how you have your notifications and you have
Right.
your inbox, right? Okay, this is where all of your messages come to.
Right.
Okay, so when you're in your inbox, let me find this one girl I was talking with. I've already marked a couple of them. I need to go back and, okay. Where's that one? Okay. So Stephanie. All right, so you guys can all see my screen?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. So I was having this conversation with Stephanie, and she is a no, not at this time. So she was on the fence about booking a show. Okay. Maybe the next one she will. So her friend Krista's getting ready to have a party. So you know I'm going to be checking back up with Stephanie about booking a party.
Right.
But so I don't forget about her. Over here on this side, have you guys ever noticed this little section over here?
Yeah.
Okay. So have you used it?
No.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, so you have this little section that says labels, okay? And you can manage labels. Well, what I can do is I can go in here and I can create labels for things that I want, how I want to organize. So I've created ones that says potential recruit, and then I have some for January, some for December. Further down, I have for November. I have one for customer care. I have one for potential hosts. Okay, so you guys see that it's going to organize me.
Right.
So you're like, okay, so now that you have all your labels created, what the heck do you do with them? So over here on the side, so she's a potential host. So if I type in potential, because I created that label, and I go right here and I click it, and then I don't know, maybe I want to check back in with her in, let's say, December. So remember, I had created a label that said December. Okay, so now did you see how it marked her over here?
Yeah.
Okay, so guess what this will do? So let's say, okay, I'm going to start looking at who my potential hosts were after as I'm having these conversations for January. Okay, so I come up to this little magnifying glass and I put in January. Okay, you see how this little label popped up, right?
Right.
When I click that, it pulls up everybody I've talked to and labeled for a potential January show.
Cool.
Right?
Right. That's cool. I like that. Okay, cool.
Yes. So you're not losing.
I've just been doing a scheduled appointment for
Uh-huh.
follow-up is what I've been doing.
Yeah. And so I find that this lets me not forget about anyone. So, the end of this month or, middle of this month, when I'm looking at adding more December shows, I'm going to go and I'm going to pull up my December people. And I know right from those messages who I have to get back with. Okay. I mean, it's a no-brainer to use it. Yeah. So that was totally off the selling subject, but that's okay.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
Oh, on the on your business page, you can message anybody and any party through that. Is that
Okay.
correct?
So
You don't have to friend them.
no, you do not have to friend them, but the only way that you can message them is if they've commented within your party. Okay.
Okay.
That's the only way it'll go into the direct messenger, which is this section right here.
Okay.
So if we go into this party, and it might not have it because this party's from last week, you only have 7 days to message from a post.
Right.
Okay. Because it expires. So anybody that, let's see. So see how it grayed out right here?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that means it's past the 7 days, it's 1 week, and I can't message her. But if it's within that 1 week period of time, it'll be blue, and you can click it, and you can send a direct message to them from there.
Okay.
Okay, so it doesn't go into that hidden section, like regular Messenger does.
Mm-hmm.
It actually gives
I
them
hate
the
that.
notification. Yeah, it actually gives them the notification that you've messaged them.
Okay. Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so we all tend to struggle with bookings at some point. And I think that, things like that are going to help you have a better system in place. And it's something that's built in. It's not something you have to really think about because as you're having a conversation, you can do it right then and there, to help you track
Right.
it. So do you guys tend to run your parties the same month to month? Like how often do you guys change your outlines?
Same.
I try to change mine every time because usually the people that I booked are from another party and I don't want them to come in and see the same exact party.
Okay.
So I try to tweak it a little bit.
Okay. And when you make those tweaks, are you changing the content to reflect what the next month's host special is?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So are you just changing the specials or are you changing the products as well?
To be honest, I don't change the product a lot.
Okay. So another tip for you guys would be to always, so we're in November. So right now we should take a look at December and what the December specials are. Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you're doing your parties right now, and it doesn't have to be a major overhaul of your outline, okay, but it can simply be 1 or 2 posts to really get people excited and enticed about a couple of those products that are in the special in the next month, okay? Or maybe you go live, showing one of them off and talking about it, okay? Now here's the real, what I would say the secret sauce, okay, is that when you're talking to people, don't phrase it as, well, you know, Tammy, I know you would love to have that rock, but in next month it's 60% off. Okay. And why do I say don't say it's 60% off?
Because if she doesn't hit that 200, she's not going to get it at 60.
Well, that would be one reason.
And some people aren't good at math.
I love you.
Yes. I was
work
waiting
at
for it.
Sonic.
They need to know the price of the 60%, not just 60%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when we say, oh my gosh, Adrienne, how would you like to get that rock next month for $50?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you sell it with the actual price they're going to pay out of pocket, that's when people's radar really goes up. Okay. Never sell it by 60% off. Sell it by the actual price that they're going to pay out of pocket, because then that's when they can see if it's going to hit their budget or not. That's when you're going to see that you get bookings for it. Okay. So, you know, right now it's November 7th, right? November 7th. We have all month long. We have plenty of time this month to add bookings to our calendars, y'all. And so I tell you what I would be doing is, number one, I would go live with a couple of your power tools this week. So maybe it's the rock crock tomorrow. Maybe it's the deep covered baker the next day. Maybe it's the blender the next day. And instead of talking about that they're 60% off, tell them, oh my gosh, you're going to pay $50 for this, or you're going to pay blah, 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 whatever it is, out of pocket when you host a party with me this month. Okay. So you do that. In your virtual parties that you've got going on this week, you cut a couple of those crappy posts out. You guys know the ones I'm talking about. They're just there for looks. And you focus in on that. Okay. You take and you put a picture of a rock with the price of, you know, $50 in bold red on it. And then, I don't know, maybe you post a video along with it, because people like videos, right? People love to learn about a product, not by words, but by actions. And so every opportunity in your outline that you can have a video present with a product, that's where you're going to get your sales from it. Okay. Because the videos from home office with the rock rocks, they show all of the features. They show all of the benefits of that product. And now you're saying, okay, this is normally $125, but if you book a party this month, I'm giving it to you for $50. Oh, and hey, you know, Joanna, when you book a party this month, you're also helping your host friend get a half price item at your party.
Yeah.
Okay. So when people know that I've got something in it for me and my friend has something coming as well, you're going to get bookings.
Yeah.
Okay. So cooking parties, plan your demos around the next month's specials. Okay. I know we're all fascinated with the blender and we absolutely love it. And yes, it's amazing. But if my calendar for November is full and I still need December shows, then I need to show people why they need to have a party and get XYZ for 60% off next month. And so my recipes that I'm doing right now need to be centered and built around the specials for the following month. Does that make sense to you guys? So I know we're all fascinated with the blender, and I know we're fascinated with the quick cooker, but if those two items aren't going to necessarily get me bookings, now I'll tell you most likely what I would do is that I would still feature either the quick cooker or the blender, but I would make sure the rest of the tools are centered around the special, because I can say, you know what, you can always get this blender for, 50% off, which would be blah, 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 however much, you can get the quick cooker any month you want to for $120, right? Because guys, we have a sale every month for our products.
Right.
I mean, any month that they want, they can get 50% off. So just because next month's special is not the quick cooker for 60% off doesn't mean that they wouldn't want to do it for 50% off. So you pick one of the tools that you're passionate about and that you love, right? And that you could still sell for 50% off, but you pick something from that monthly host special the next month to also feature alongside of it. All right, so my last little tip for you guys is a virtual party tip, and that is the timing of your posts. How many of you guys have a system in place for the timing of your posting in your Facebook parties? Okay, so tell me about that.
I usually I talk to my host. I like to see when she is going to be able to be in the party more often, what time. I usually do a few posts in the morning, but most of my posts are ran from 3 to 7 at night. I
Okay.
try to do my game. I try to do a game like around noonish. That way it's there for the morning people, and then I let it play out.
Okay.
I used to do the game that where they guessed, and then I gave the host the answer, and she had to do higher, lower, higher, and that just got to be a pain.
Yeah.
So I went to everybody gets 2 guesses, and I'll tell you in the morning who won. And it's been actually, I've gotten more responses from that
Right.
than I was the other. So.
Yep. Anybody else have a method to their madness?
Yeah, I need to engage my host a little more to ask what's best for them. But I normally do because I work early in the mornings, and I know I can do the post my party, it'll automatically do. But I normally do 6 to 8 in the evening. Because if you figure people are winding down, they're putting the kids to bed, they've cooked their meals, and they can go in up until, even up until 9, 10 o'clock at night if they're just in their bed. So I try to start it around 6:15-ish.
So you post only in the evening time?
Yes.
Okay. And Miss Tammy?
On weekends, though, I try to do some earlier.
Earlier. Okay.
I actually do 4 times a day from 9, noon, 3, and 5-ish.
Okay.
But one thing I've realized is, of course, the first couple of days kind of do just some fun little games to get people interacting, getting comfortable. But then Wednesday is my host a party post. And then for Thursday, I'll do a game where they have to message me
Okay.
to the answer. So that way I can get that conversation going on
Perfect.
after the host the party. So
Okay.
it's working. It's helping.
So I'll tell you that no matter what time frame you choose, okay, there's something that everybody has to be aware of, and that is that Facebook has peak traffic times. Does everyone know that?
Yes.
And so that is something to be very aware and observant of when you're posting. And also, I think for me, it's a respect thing, honestly. And there, it's just, you wouldn't show up to someone's house to have a party at 10 o'clock at night, right? Like
Right.
you wouldn't, I don't know about you, but I'm not going anyone's house at 2 a.m. to put, not doing that. So I look at it, if I'm posting in a party at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm showing up to party with them, right? At 2 o'clock in the morning. And so whether I'm in your home or I'm on your phone, I'm annoying you in some way, shape, or form. So the peak traffic times for Facebook are 10 a.m., 12:30 p.m., 3 o'clock, and in between the hours of 5 and 9. Okay? And so those are the time frames that you want to be very aware of when you're posting. And so how I do my parties is we change our banner every single day. Okay, we change it at 10 o'clock in the morning. And why do I change my banner? Do you guys know why you change your banner?
Because everybody gets a notification. To the party.
Right. I'm like, hey, it's time to party, y'all. Hello. So 10 o'clock, I change my banner. I do my first post in the afternoon at 12:30. So why would 12:30 be a traffic time?
Lunchtime.
Right?
Lunchtime, right? Absolutely.
Everybody could go on Facebook.
Yes. 3 o'clock, I do the next post. 5 o'clock, I do the next post. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And I don't do them on the hour like I do because I don't want to appear like a robot. Okay. So it might be like 5:03 or 6:12 or 7:15 or 8:06 or whatever. So that I don't seem calculated, so that it seems like it is.
You're actually doing it.
Right. Spontaneous, right? So, no matter whether you do 12 posts a day or 4 posts a day, or, you do 3 posts, 3 posts, 3 posts, 3 posts, or everybody's got a method to their madness. But you just have to be aware of the peak traffic times of Facebook and make sure you're coordinating that around those times. Okay? All right. So what questions do you guys have?
How to stay out of Facebook jail.
Yeah.
If she knew the answer to that, she'd be a billionaire.
Well, I kind of do. I mean,
You gotta be careful. Luckily, I've only done it once, and it was a stupid thing that I did. And as soon as I did it, I knew.
so I'll tell you that you're going to hear a million different things from a million different people, why they go to Facebook jail, why you don't go to Facebook jail. And all I can tell you is that Facebook is all about your personal algorithm. Okay. Okay. So Facebook has an algorithm, right? But you also, as a user, have a personal algorithm, which is your set of behaviors. Okay. And so when you change your behavior in a small way or a big way, it flags you. So I can tell you in Facebook, since doing Facebook parties, remember I told you guys I've been doing it for 7 years. I have been in Facebook jail one time in 7 years. In 7 years, I have done at least four virtual parties every single week for 7 years. And I've been in Facebook jail one time. And it was in June of this year. And one change that I made is that I used SendShare for 1 week and I went to Facebook jail.
Wow.
See, I have been
I've
using,
always did it.
I always use SendShare.
I do too.
Right.
And I haven't had an issue until 2 weeks ago. Well, I had it earlier in the year. It was kind of off and on. It was really good. And then I had a party, was doing the same thing. Don't really know what was different. Going through my business page like they told us, had it linked to my business page and everything. And then it started throwing me in Facebook jail for like 24 hours. I would get out. I wouldn't I wouldn't comment or anything, try to start doing, and it would throw me again in 24 hours.
Right.
So this week, I'm really panicking because this week I've got 3 parties going on. And so far, I hate to even talk about it. It's going well. But I'm commenting through as my husband so that I can't, so I'm terrified to
You're gonna
comment
throw
on
him
my
in jail.
business page because I'm afraid it's going to flag me again. My poor daughter-in-law, she signed up as a recruit, and her very first party, of course, she was one of these that was not on Facebook a lot, and now she started having these parties, and so I think it's her behavior has changed, that she's on it more, so it's flagging her and throwing her into jail. But I kept thinking, I don't know what I'm doing different. The other day, it was scrolling through messages. I didn't even comment or anything, and it told me that I was temporarily suspended.
It's really just kind of analyzing yourself. I think, because so for all that time, I had always either manually posted, or once Facebook came out with Facebook Scheduler, I was using Facebook Scheduler. Because my theory is this, y'all. Facebook would not put a scheduling system in Facebook if they did not want us to use it. Okay.
Right.
And I know that SendShare and Post My Party, they pay Facebook X amount of dollars for them to use the platform, blah, blah, blah. But if you're a business owner, as in Facebook, right, and you've got these companies that are making way more money on their service than they're paying you, isn't the smart business decision to not allow those people to do and use those services? And you're really not going to make it like known that, hey, this is why you're going to Facebook jail, because you're using SendShare and Post My Party. But maybe if you make it a really big inconvenience for people, that people might stop using it eventually and come to Facebook. Yeah. I don't think Facebook would ever admit that it is the outside posting services causing the issue, or creating the issue why they're doing it. But I tell you that they don't have to, because if they annoy enough people, then enough people are going to stop using that and start using Facebook. Right. So, but I'll tell you, when I stopped using SendShare and I went back to what I used to do right before that week, I was out of Facebook jail and I've never been back in.
Well, Tony just showed me about Facebook Messenger, and I kind of started using that when I was in Facebook. Yeah. And it's, when you're running, like I said, I run 4 to 8 parties a week, depending on what, how many cooking shows I have. And it takes a couple extra minutes, but it's really, look, it's either I want to be inconvenienced with Facebook jail, or I want to plan to have an extra 15 minutes to schedule posts. For me, I'd rather stay out of Facebook jail because it just annoys the crud out of me. That 1 week was like, oh my gosh, it was torture. I couldn't handle it. I was so annoyed that week.
Patty, Are you, Patty, are you logging in through Facebook on SendShare, or are you actually using an email and a password?
No, I'm logging in through Facebook.
Okay. I've quit logging in through Facebook, and I'm actually logging in with my email and password now. So far, I haven't had any issues.
Which would be smart. That would
Okay.
probably be a smart choice.
Yeah.
Sure.
So instead of logging in through
No.
Facebook, actually use an email and your password and log
Because
in.
again, you're when you're logged in from Facebook on another platform, you're basically, it's like you're dual. You're
Right.
using your profile twice. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it would look suspicious. Like that could flag it as suspicious.
Okay.
So
Okay.
any other questions, y'all? Did you learn anything tonight?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Awesome. Angela, did you have anything you wanted to share before we end?
No, ma'am, I'm good.
All righty. All right, ladies. Well, I don't think we're going to have any homework because this was the last call. Well, you know what? I'm just giving you all homework pass. How about that? It's a Becky pass. My son really appreciated that. He's like, yes, homework passes. But I hope you guys enjoyed the program that we put together for you guys. Hopefully you've taken some information away that you're going to be able to implement in your business. And you know, who's going to be the next director? Because I know some of you guys are getting closer. So that's super exciting. I will tell you, don't ever stop sharing this business, y'all, because you really can change someone's life. I just want to tell you a real quick story that we had another director promote last month, and she was a fast track director. And her husband had just recently lost his job. And I did not know this because she did not share. And a lot of us, you know, that's information that we kind of sometimes hold personal to us. She sent me a message this morning because she got her first paycheck as a director. And she said, I wanted to let you know that I seen my paycheck this morning. And the first thing I did was just bawl my eyes out. And I was like, why was that? And she said, because I couldn't believe that this little business that I started, you know, just to make a little extra side money, was able to actually save my house this month. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, my husband, she's like, I didn't tell you guys that my husband lost his job at the beginning of last month. And, you know, we've been behind on our mortgage, and this was able to help us get the mortgage caught up to the point where we saved our house.
Awesome.
So, you know, if you guys don't believe in the power of this business, just let that resonate with you, okay? That it really can change someone's life. I'm a perfect example of it. You guys heard my story in the beginning of this. Look, I'm going to get all teary-eyed and cry again. But it really does have the power to change someone's life. So share it with every single person that you guys come in contact with, you know, and share it because of how it's changed your life. You know, I'm sure if you really examine it, that you'll find something in this business that's really changed you forever, whether it's how you feel about yourself, your belief in yourself, you know, your financial situation, whatever it is. There's going to be something that you can find that you can say, you know what, she's right. This has changed my life forever. And just hold on to that, you know, hold on to that and share it, and just, you know, be proud of who you are, be proud of what we do, and be proud of the, you know, the connection that we can bring families back around the table, because it's huge, y'all, and people need it. So it has been so much fun working with you guys. And if I can help you guys with anything, you know, feel free to send me a friend request. I'd love to stay connected with you guys. And many blessings to each of you.
Thank you.
Good night, guys.
You're great.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys. Good luck,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye. Good luck.
Good luck.